So school taught us how to solve for X, but it never taught us how to solve for rent. We learned about mitochondria, but not credit scores. If you ever felt like adulting hit you like a brick in the face, you're not alone. Let's fix that. In this video, I'll teach you 10 things school should have taught all of us about financial literacy, but didn't. I'm gonna break it down in easy to understand plain English. Hey, I'm Seth. I spent 20 years in investment banks and trading, and now I help people like you take the fear out of investing and get real about money and healthy habits. If you feel like you were thrown into adulthood with no financial game plan, this video is your starter kit or your checklist to make sure you're doing it all right. Budgeting is freedom, not restriction. So let's clear this one up once and for all. Budgeting isn't about saying no, it's about saying yes to what actually matters. Most people hear the word budget and think, ugh, no fun, no freedom, no spending, but that's wrong. That's where they get it all wrong. A good budget doesn't lock you up, it unlocks your priorities. So let's keep it simple. Start with the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for needs like your rent, your grocery, your utilities, transportation. 30% for wants. You got your travel, concerts, golf clubs, sneakers, whatever makes life fun for you. And 20% on saving and investing. And that's your future thanking the present you. And no, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Think of this more as a roadmap, not a prison. If you're a little off 1 month, that's life, that happens. The point is to be aware, not perfect. Because here's the truth. If you don't tell your money where to go, it disappears, like your ability to do high school algebra. Obviously, the answer is 1. Or wait, is it 9? PEMDAS, baby. If you don't have a plan, it gets chaotic fast. And the same goes for your money. Budgeting adds structure. It removes stress. It gives you control. So stop thinking of budgeting as a punishment. It's actually permission to spend, save, and live with purpose. Credit scores are the GPA of adulthood. Now, credit scores, they're basically like a report card for adults. But instead of getting grounded, you get punished with higher interest rates, bigger deposits, and less financial freedom. Credit is power. A good score gets you better deals on everything from loans, credit cards, and even your apartment lease. So how do you build and protect your score? Well, the basics here are you pay your bills on time every time. On-time payments are the single biggest factor in your credit score. You keep your balances low. You don't max out your cards. Aim to use less than 30% of your available credit. Under 10% is even better. Don't close old accounts. That old card from college, if you still use it a bit, keep it open. The age of your credit history matters. Now, that's not going to say if you have a credit card just sitting in the bottom of a drawer that's just open for potential for fraud, yes, you should probably close that, okay? But also, don't go credit crazy. Applying for 5 different loans or cards in a short period of time is a red flag for lenders, so don't do that. Debt. So not all debt is bad, but a lot of it ain't good. All right, here's the truth. Not all debt is bad, but most people drown in the wrong kind. There is good debt. A mortgage on a home you can actually afford. Student loans within reason. There's no need to be a 20-year student, okay? Those days are over. You gotta go out there and do something, right? You can't just be a learner. You gotta go out there and do. A business loan to build something that generates income. These are debts that can increase your net worth over time, right? But then there's bad debt. That's 20% APR on credit cards. It's payday loans. Buying a couch on Klarna. Buy now, pay later schemes that trap you in monthly payments you forget you even signed up for. If the debt doesn't help you build wealth or generate income, it's probably dragging you backwards. And let's talk credit cards real quick. Never float the balance, ever. You get your statement, you pay it off in full. You don't just pay the minimum and leave the rest hanging at 20% interest. That's how a $100 dinner becomes a $120 regret. And car loans, let's get brutal here. If you're financing a car over 7% interest for over 36 months, don't do it, full stop. It means you can't afford the car. Stretching that payment over 60 to 72 months is a real wealth killer. I even did a video on that already. Buy used, pay in cash if you can. If you finance, keep it short term, so 36 months or less. And here's a quick stat. The average American pays over $1,000 a year in credit card interest. Now, if you're a golfer, that's a lab putter and 2 Vokey wedges you're just throwing away every single year. If not, that's an iPhone, okay? Debt can be a tool, or it can be a trap. Use it wisely, or it will use you. Invest early, even if it's small. Let me tell you the single most underrated money move. Start investing early, even if it's small. Too many people wait until they have more income, more savings, more knowledge. But that wait is costing you the one thing you can't get back, and that's time. Time in the market beats timing the market every single time. Even $50 a month into a low-cost ETF like VOO or SCHD or SPY can completely change your future. Let me break it down for you. If you invest $100 a month starting at age 25 in the S&P 500, and the average market return is about 10% annually, which is historically accurate, by age 65, you'll have over $600,000. That's just $100 a month. Not 1,000, not a lump sum, no fancy hedge funds, no options trades, just small, consistent, automatic investing in the broad US stock market. And here's the kicker. If you wait until you're 35 to start, you'll only have half as much. That 10-year delay will cost you over $300,000. Why? Because compound interest is an incredible accelerator. It's the eighth wonder of the world, as Einstein put it, but it needs time to do its job. So don't tell yourself you start investing later. Start with what you've got now, even if it's $25 a week, even if it's like a drop in the bucket, because those drops become waves when you give them decades. And as I say, the best time to start investing was yesterday, and the second best time is right now. Protect what you build. We spend $250 on Apple Care to protect a $1,000 iPhone, but we won't spend $10 a month on renter's insurance or take 30 minutes to write a will. Come on now, that's crazy when you think about it. Financial literacy isn't just about growing wealth, it's about protecting it. This is the part no one talks about, but it matters just as much as the investing part. You need defense. You need an emergency fund. You save 3 to 6 months of expenses. This isn't just for car trouble or hospital bills, but it's for real life, like layoffs, surprise repairs. Your oh shit fund is your lifeline. You keep it in a high yield savings account as well. Now you need insurance. Got family? Get term life insurance. Not overpriced whole life stuff. If someone depends on your income, this is non-negotiable. It's not for you, it's for them. And you also need a will. Look, no one wants to think about dying. It sucks. I get it. But if something happens to you and you don't have a will, it's chaos for the people you love and who care about you the most. Be a hero. Write it down. Use a lawyer or even an online tool like Trust and Will or Free Will. You can't build a financial house without a foundation. Defense protects the empire you're working so hard to build. So yeah, definitely sort out your iPhone, but also protect your family, your income, and your future. And that's what being financially literate really means. So listen, money is emotional. It's not just math. You don't just need a spreadsheet, you need self-awareness. So you ask yourself, why do you impulsively spend when you're bored or anxious? Why does the idea of checking your bank account stress you out? Why do you feel guilty when you buy something for yourself or ashamed when you don't? This stuff goes way deeper than budgeting. It's unlearning financial trauma. It's breaking the cycle of how you were raised to see and understand money, and that's totally normal. Most of us weren't taught how to manage money. We just absorbed it from our parents, who argued about bills, or from a culture that told us our value is tied to what we wear or drive. That's why fixing your finances isn't just about cutting costs. It starts by auditing your behavior. Do you really need Disney Plus without the ads and YouTube Premium and 5 food delivery apps that charge service fees on top of tips? You're not bad with money, you're just not paying attention to the leaks. If you can't name your 3 biggest expenses last month, you're actually flying blind. Use budgeting apps like YNAB, Rocket Money, or Mint. Don't just wing it. And you can't out-earn dumb spending. Okay, let me tell you something I've seen firsthand on Wall Street and in real life. You can't out-earn dumb spending, period. I knew a guy pulling in $800,000 a year and somehow he was still broke. You'd think that kind of income, life would be set, right? But no. Why? His car payment and rent were more than his monthly check. He partied like he was Drake going on tour. He had a couple ex-wives draining his savings with alimony like clockwork every month, okay? And every time he got a bonus, he'd spend it like it was never going to run out. It doesn't matter how big your paycheck is if your spending is bigger than that. NBA rookies, crypto bros, Wall Street analysts, Wall Street traders, you name it. I've seen people burn through millions faster than you can say declined transaction. But here's the rule. If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it once, right? Let that sink in. You get paid once and you blow it all on a Rolex, designer clothes, a G-Wagon, or a condo in Miami, and you think, you're building wealth. That's not wealth. That's lifestyle inflation on steroids. You want a real flex? Own your own time. Have money when no one's looking. Be able to walk away from any job, boss, because you're financially independent. And that starts with discipline, not income. If you don't fix your habits when you're making $50,000 a year, trust me, you won't fix them at $500,000 either. The biggest financial decision of your life. My dad told me something when I was younger and it stuck with me. Son, the most important financial decision you'll ever make isn't a stock, a house, or some hot investment. It's who you marry. And honestly, as profound as that is, he was right. This is how you can go from being financially stable to losing half of your net worth real quick. And if kids are involved, it's an even bigger haircut. It's easy to focus on the surface, looks, humor, chemistry. But one of the biggest green or red flags in a relationship is how the person handles money. You ask yourself, can you build a double income house together? If not, does one of you earn enough to support both? Are they a saver or a spender? Do they gamble, overspend, or rack up Amazon orders like they're getting paid to spend? I'm not your dad, but here's the truth. You need a shared vision for money. You need full transparency and a mutual understanding of how you'll spend, save, and invest together or it'll eat your relationship alive. Money is one of the leading causes of divorce, so get on the same page early and you take one of the biggest financial risks off the table. Learn to say no without explaining yourself. Let me hit you with something real. Financial freedom starts with boundaries, and that means learning to say no without guilt, without over-explaining, and without shame. No, you can't go on that last-minute trip to Ibiza or Ibiza. No, you're not splitting the dinner bill evenly when all you had was soup and you don't drink alcohol. No, you're not blowing your bonus on a brand new F-150 just because your buddy said, bro, you earned it. Here's the thing. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your financial goals. You're not cheap. You're disciplined. Want a go-to line? Use this. That's not in the budget for me right now. That's it. It's short, it's sharp, it's zero shame. It doesn't need a follow-up story or a TED Talk. You're allowed to have goals, you're allowed to make trade-offs, and you're allowed to prioritize your future over someone else's expectations. Every no to something impulsive is a yes to something meaningful. The people who matter will respect it. The people who don't, let them split that $500 of Opus One without you. Okay? It's fine. The 7 income streams rule is real. You've probably heard this stat before, but it's worth repeating. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. Not 1, 7. And here's what they usually look like. They've got their earned income. That's your job. They've got the profit income. That's your business. They have interest income on investments and money that they have in savings. They have dividend income. They have rental income. They have capital gain. They have royalty or licensing income. Now compare that to the average person, which has 1 job and 0 backup plans. Now, if your only income stream is your 9 to 5, you're 1 Coldplay concert in Foxborough away from launching a GoFundMe page. So where do you start? Here's the real talk. You don't need all 7 streams overnight, but you do need to build more than 1. Try this. Freelance your skills, write, design, edit, coach, whatever you're good at. Try print on demand with Printify or Redbubble, but remember, the trick here isn't designing it like we all have, it's selling it. Start investing in dividend stocks, even $100 at a time. Consult in your area of expertise. Now, if you've done something for over 3 years or so, someone will pay you to shortcut that learning curve for them. Buy a cheap flat or a small house and start renting it out, even if it's just a duplex or an Airbnb for now. Now, you like trading cards or collectibles? Start flipping it. Don't just save it. You're not Schmeagle with your little precious ring. That's stock with sneakers. It'll make you money. You can start a YouTube channel. I mean, some people seem to make it work. Maybe one day it'll work for me. I don't know. Here's the mindset. You push yourself to be creative. You're not a robot. You're not stuck. You're absolutely capable of building 1 new income stream while still working at your main job. You don't need a perfect plan. You need momentum. Listen, you don't need to be rich to get started, but you need to get started to get rich. And remember, nobody's born with financial literacy, but anyone can learn it at any time. The system just isn't designed to teach you this stuff, and hopefully, this video got you thinking of small adjustments you can make to improve your own financial situation. Now, if you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos on Monster Capital channel, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, all at Monster Capital. And remember, no one's coming to save you. There's no lottery win in your future. I hate to tell you this, but you're more than capable of saving yourself. And with that in mind, remember, kindness is the rent we pay on earth, so do something nice for someone. See you on the next one.